Hey folks, Tom Norfleet with citizenshipquickly.com. Wanted to talk to you today about the Cayman Islands residency by investment. The GDP per capita in the Caymans is 47,000 US dollars a year, which is the highest in the Caribbean. The Cayman Islands allows a passport holder to go to 111 countries visa-free, including the Schengen countries. The Cayman Islands also allows dual citizenship. The health care in the Caymans is top-notch, and education system is very good there. It ranks as good as the U.S. It's one of the few places in the Caribbean that has just excellent health care and excellent education. The Cayman Islands is actually the purest of the tax savings that you'll find of any place in the world, and this is why so many hedge funds are actually set up there. There is no direct taxation imposed on residents and Cayman Island companies. The government receives the majority of its income from indirect taxation, duties levied against most imported goods, which is typically in the range of 22 to 25%. There are no taxes on corporate profits, capital gains, or personal income. The Cayman Islands is probably the most expensive place I've ever visited, along with Hawaii and Bermuda. The food prices are really expensive there. The Caymans, as mentioned earlier, is a residency by investment that can lead up to citizenship, so this takes a while to actually get. There is actually no citizenship by investment fast track program that they've got in place right now, like St. Kitts and Nevis. If your eventual goal is to obtain Cayman Islands citizenship, then you should apply for Cayman Islands residency as a person of independent means. You'll need to prove that you have sufficient assets to support yourself and your dependents, and you'll need to make an investment in the islands. You will get permanent residency with this option, which leads your whole family to actual citizenship eventually. The investment amount is 2.4 million US dollars, and all of it must be invested in developed real estate. Additionally, only 250 of these applications are open per year. Permanent residency also allows and enables you and your spouse to potentially work in the Cayman Islands. Like other residency applications in the Cayman Islands, applying for permanent residency is fairly straightforward. If you meet the criteria, you'll fill out the application, you pay a $610 fee, and you wait for approval. Once it's approved, you'll pay an issue fee of $122,000, and then you'll be adding another $1,200 for every dependent that's actually getting the permanent residency too. And you've got the right to work in the Caymans, and you'll need to pay a variable work permit fee too, and that varies depending on the actual business that you're involved with. They have a fee structure that varies depending on what you decide you want to do there. When deciding whether or not to get a second residency, you should always consider whether you eventually want to get citizenship in that country. This is you don't want to be going and just getting residency and not having the opportunity to get the citizenship. In the Cayman Islands, you can obtain British Overseas Territory citizenship if you acquire permanent residency first. Other qualifications include living in the Cayman Islands for the majority of the past 5 years, not leaving the islands for more than 90 days at a time, and having a clean record for immigration. Therefore, if you're willing to establish permanent residency and live in the Cayman Islands for 5 years, then you can become eligible to apply for citizenship by naturalization. However, if you're in search of citizenship, then you might be better off obtaining a Caribbean citizenship by investment, such as St. Kitts and Nevis, for substantially cheaper prices. St. Kitts requires 200,000 US dollars to be invested in a property, and some other fees of around 50 to 70,000 US dollars versus 2.4 million US dollars plus other fees for Caymans. But the St. Kitts passport can be obtained in 4 months versus 6 to 7 years in the Caymans. So these are things that you really have to look at, because if I was going for a passport, St. Kitts is by far not only cheaper, but better visa-free countries. There's so many things that are much better with that option. In fact, my evaluation of the Caymans is as follows. If you're looking for a place to set up a hedge fund, then you're not going to find any place any better in the world than the Caymans, because there is no personal income or corporate income tax there. It's really set up for perfect business would be the setting up a hedge fund there. If you're doing so to get a second passport, this is a very expensive way to do it. St. Kitts, as mentioned earlier, is a lot cheaper, like 10 times cheaper, and the visa-free travel with the St. Kitts passport will give you about 30 more visa-free countries you can travel to, and the passport can be gotten as quick as 4 months. St. Kitts is also a cheaper place to live in the Caymans. Food prices are cheaper. I mean, gas is cheaper. They even the mobile phones, you can go across the board and everything's a lot cheaper. If you'd like to learn more on how to legally get your taxes to zero or how to get a second passport in as quick as 3 months, do two things. Hit the subscribe button to the right of your screen. That's that red button to the right of your screen there, and you'll get new videos automatically as they come out. And number two is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and fill out our questionnaire so we can help you get started. We deal with about 67 citizenship by investment or residency by investment countries that I know you'll be interested in learning about. Thanks, and I'll be looking forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.